And the seventh word, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. And
yes.
This is beautiful. I'm going to read just the first paragraph. It says, "It is noteworthy that of the 7 pronouncements made by our Lord Jesus Christ as he approached his death, the gospel texts say that 3 of these were said in a great voice. The first was when he said, 'Father, why hast thou forsaken me?' The second was, 'It is consummated.' And the third occasion was when he said his very last words, 'Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit.'" It's just interesting that Bonaventure's zoning in here that he said it in a great voice. He essentially yelled it from the cross.
Yeah.
His very last thing he said, he bellowed out for all the world to hear.
Indeed. And, you might think, well, this what is like a personal prayer, so why would he say this one in a loud voice? But Bonaventure gives this very great explanation. He's saying that it clearly reveals his divinity. So he's saying that most people, when they're about to die, they can barely utter any words, and the words they say are whispered or barely audible. But Christ here displays his divinity by showing that he's still capable of crying out in this great voice.
Yeah.
And, this is perhaps something which I, until I read this, hadn't really thought about. What was Christ like actually at the moment of death? And Bonaventure saying he's showing that he still possesses this strength, this omnipotence of divinity, even though he is dying.
Yeah, he voluntarily dies.
Yeah,
he could have overcome it that moment if he wanted to.
He could.
And so he says, I love this. He says, just as a victorious warrior cries out when he has conquered his foes or put them to flight, even so did Jesus cry out strongly when he had defeated death and sin. I mean, that's a victorious warrior.
Yeah.
Right there hanging on the cross as the sacrificial lamb. That's a powerful concept.
This is it's magnificent. As I said, Connor, I hadn't imagined it in that way ever before.
Me neither.
But it really does shed a great light upon this. This commending his spirit into the hands of his Father isn't just a surrender. This is a cry of victory. He's finished his mission, as he said in the Consummatum Est, and now he's just making his journey homeward.
Yeah.
So